despair. How can I change what? We landed here. It's not the same sun, this is despair. One of us came up, none of us cared. They want to change up, life isn't fair. It's how we made, huh? Now you aware. It's why you fear us, this why you scared. They over the hilltop, I see them right there. They'll wait for the kill shot, they'll sit and they'll stare. If we got a real shot for us, it's up there. We're hopeless if we stop, they'll kill us right here. Living in death's den, run through the best winds, storming the front gates. Whatever gets us in, whatever gets us over, whatever helps us win, whatever we must do. Rescuing our kids, as long as they get through it, don't matter if we live. God chose to bless you, I'll take all that death gives. I'm into this war in memory of dead friends, hope of a new way when all of this death ends. Who can we call on? It's me and it's all y'all. We're here by our lonesome, nobody to fall on. Flesh in the dirt, fire to ashes. Fate getting closer every moment that passes. Running away, no one is there. No one to save us, nothing to spare. How can I change what? We landed here. It's not the same sun, this is despair. One of us came up, none of us cared. They want to change up, life isn't fair. It's how we made, huh? Now you aware. It's why you fear us, this why you scared. Show me a safe place, does it exist? It must be a wasteland where nobody lives, that nobody knows of, where nobody's been. Where we at is warfare, every time you can get. What you can't get is real love and fucking respect. Set up for failure, a life of neglect. If none of us stand up, we'll live with regrets. If we rise, we might die, I call that a good death. What would I live for if I am oppressed? How can I raise up with the world on my chest? Who's gonna save us if you and I rest? They shoot us in cold blood when under arrest. Lock us in cold cells, consider it home now. Cut off from emotion, our feelings are stoned now. Our buildings are blown out, the madness is so loud. It's dark and there's no sound, we gotta go now. Running away, no one is there. No one to save us, nothing to spare. How can I change what? We landed here. It's not the same sun, this is despair. One of us came up, none of us cared. They want to change up, life isn't fair. It's how we made, huh? Now you aware. It's why you fear us, this why you scared. The illness is prevalent, natives malevolent. Hunger, starvation now, no hope for a heaven sent. Kiss the babies goodbye, say I love you to wives. Grab your weapons, get your steps in, we gon' ride when it rise. The sun mean what when it's blinding your eyes? Put the wind to your back, leave them facing the sky. Put the pain in the dirt, raise your bloody fist high. Use your brain, do the work, strategize and survive. The rush of the dust up, the thrill of the gun buzz. The satisfaction of our reaction when there's no one to help us. The spoils of war, the hunger for more. The passion of how we smashing what we hate through the floor. The rage, the loneliness of dead on the page. To cleanse this land, gotta burn more than just sage. Crush the cage, body and soul unafraid. Kill them all and set them ablaze. No running away, no one is there. No one to save us, nothing to spare. How can I change what? We landed here. It's not the same sun, this is despair. One of us came up, none of us cared. They want to change up, life isn't fair. It's how we made, huh? Now you aware. It's why you fear us, this why you scared. Was she madder to you? If you knew or understood why she loved, realized why she is precious, she important to us. How much she means to the future without her damage is done. You stand accused, the abuser who murdered daughters and sons. Kissed by stars, shadow killer light from afar. Eyesight with a spark, search for what she find in the dark. Small in the frame, big brain, mountain the heart. Good with a secret, no shame, like her, she smart. Maybe inside another life she find us a fine arts, but we ain't born with choices, so she hopeless when life's hard. Lost and alone for naked, live finding a way. Making alliance, be a loyal dog and wait for a day. The corner warned to the street lights, begged her to stay. The curb heard the crosswalk cry as she walked away. The church was hurt, praying she was one they could save. A disappointed system couldn't make her a slave.
If I could get past the day, I'd do it all a different way. I'd give myself half a chance. I wouldn't call the devil out to dance. If I could just catch a break, the difference is that I can make.
I see how you look at her, you wish you could protect her, cause you see something good in her. You see what we all see, there's more than just the hood in her. We can see her greatness and devils trying to shoot at her. Chaos under madness, junkies trying to shoot her up. Old men trying to give her babies, white wolves out to chew her up. She more than just a throwaway, it's more than just to shoot 'em up. More than just a poor girl, this cold world is using up. Tragedy, travesty, the murder of her majesty, complete and utter blasphemy, end result catastrophe. Generations wiped out, the future is a casualty. Anything concerning her, I prefer you asking me. Also do it candidly, in a low tone with reverence, or end up in a box standing over you a reverend. She's sacred far as we concerned, this here is a holy place. Big brother, she chose to blow holes to your face.
If I could get past the day, I'd do it all a different way. I'd give myself half a chance. I wouldn't call the devil out to dance. If I could just catch a break, the difference is that I can make the type of pain that I could take. Yeah, I died before I choose to break.
Played to an early grave in a game she thought she could play. She might have made it a business to be a business one day, but all that business is finished. No hope for words left to say. No more lessons from mistakes. No graduation day. No getting over the awkwardness of being a teen. No more late nights on the block purling blunts for the team. More tears and vigils. More blood stains the streets. More division between the living, cutting flesh for the beef. Vengeance is on the table. This revenge is so sweet. Insatiable is the appetite awaken the beast. Irrational thoughts and actions make the most sense to me. What's happening is gonna happen. We gon' die, we eat everything, every single motherfucking piece. And even then, no comparison to what you owe me. I have nothing, and only one thing left to gain. I promise I'ma walk you through flames, screaming a name.
If I could get past today, I'd do it all a different way. I'd give myself half a chance. I wouldn't call the devil out to dance. If I could just catch a break, the difference is that I can make the type of pain that I could take. Yeah, I died before I choose to break.
Salute, salute, salute. Welcome back to Shy Ill Reacts. I am your host, Shy Ill. Hope everybody's having a good night on this lovely Friday evening. Right? I'm a little late. We trying to do this a little bit later. Y'all let me know what the audio sounds like, because my audio is looking crazy right now. Hold on a second. Does my microphone sound crazy, y'all? Y'all let me know. Let me check over here. I want to have the same problem that I just had, especially today. Y'all let me know what the audio sounds like, because my audio is looking crazy right now. Sounds good to me. All right, salutes to the usual suspects in the building. Make sure y'all hit the like button on the way in. All right, we trying this tonight, trying a little bit later. We'll see how many people we get. If the numbers suffer, it could be one or two things. I went too late, or this is too real of a subject and people want to hear about the heroes. So, who knows? All right, salutes. Eddie Jimenez said audio is good. James said audio is good. All right, salutes. I appreciate y'all. Let's get to it, man. Rest peacefully, Jamani Amir Rivera. All right, this is a 7-year-old boy that was, hold on, let me put myself on camera over here. Here we go. Salutes. What's up, y'all? This is a 7-year-old boy that unfortunately suffered what Chicago's had to offer to so many over many, many years. And he was gunned down. He was gunned down. I've been alive a lot of years, and I've been seeing this story repeat itself for decades after decades after decades. You know what I'm saying? So it wouldn't be me. I wouldn't be myself. For those that really know me, they run into this video. They know I wouldn't be myself if I didn't, acknowledge this. Can I acknowledge every single time that this happens? The numbers are that high. I've watched them. The numbers are that high that it's like I'd live in a depression if I talked about it as many times as it happens, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? But I've been talking about it for a long time. If you go back and listen to my early work, my early music, It's about this. I've been burying friends since I was a little kid. You know what I'm saying? So this conversation is to be had today. For those that want to be here, I appreciate you. For those that don't want to be here, kick rocks. Salutes. Make sure you hit the like button on the way out. Also, yeah, man, it's just frustrating. YouTube's frustrating. This whole shit is frustrating, all right? But we're going to get through it. Salutes to y'all. I got my green drink. I got some water where the ice melted already. Hope everybody's enjoying their Friday night. Smoke them if you got them. Crack them open if you got them. And if you sober, here's a hug for you. Salutes. All right, let's get to the chat. Salutes Eddie Jimenez on the check-in. I appreciate you, sir. Salutes Guero 2K17. Zoraida, per usual, salutes. Ed the Hip Hop Guru. Who on the mic, Shy L? On the songs? On the hooks or on the verses? The verses is me. Salutes. Ivan, rest in heaven, little man. Salutes. Appreciate that. Shout out Chucky Chingon. Salute, brother. Audio's good. James Rucker said, Washington, D.C. checking in. Salutes. Appreciate you. Hit the like button on the way in. Absolutely. I agree. Eddie Jimenez says, as a school teacher for 24 years and a father of 4 sons, this is hard. I agree. This is a necessary conversation. Yeah, it's a necessary conversation because, frankly, I know the motherfucking conversation by heart already. You know what I'm saying? Why do I know the fucking conversation by heart? Because the shit been happening for that long. I've been talking about it for that long. You know? But again, salutes J Money, a.k.a. J Money. I know a few people that knew the young man. And it's a sad story. It's an unfortunate story. But we about to get through it. We're going to get through a story. Salutes. Salutes Ed the Hip Hop Guru. Shy, I didn't know you were MC. Absolutely, sir. First and foremost. And above all else. Appreciate you. All right, let's get to the article over here. I pulled the early article. Let me see. Where is it at? This article was from... Yeah, this was Wednesday. All right, this happened on Tuesday, but this news story is from Wednesday. Salutes. All right, let me get the hit the like button, y'all. Let me get the Sorry, my brain is a little bit fried with all of this. Let me drop this screen here. Bow. There we go. That's what I was trying to do. This up here. I think I got everything set up. Salutes. All right, let me check the Discord real quick. Make sure nobody lost in the sauce. All right, we good. We're good. Let me get this recording going. Start recording here and start recording here. Near West Side shootings. 7-year-old boy, unalived. Police search for gunman. Right? Chicago. A 7-year-old boy was shot and unalived Tuesday afternoon in Chicago's near West Side neighborhood. Comes on the heels of a violent Father's Day weekend. On Wednesday, family and friends gathered for a balloon release in the boy's honor. The incident occurred around 3 p.m. at the Oakland Square Apartments in the 2200 block of West Jackson Boulevard. A separate, yet connected crime scene was across the street outside Crane High School, where witnesses said the gunshots originated. So the incident occurred 3 p.m. at the apartment building, but at the same time, simultaneously, there was some shit going down across the street at Crane, where witnesses said the gunshots originated, right? Something spill over from the school to the building. Very easy for that to happen. All right, make sure everything's gravy. All right. When officers arrived at the scene, they found the child suffering from a gunshot wound to the torso. This 7-year-old was exiting his apartment going to visit a neighbor right next door when he was struck, says Chicago Police Superintendent Larry Snelling. Responding officers attempted life-saving measures on the boy and rushed him to the hospital in a squad car. Unfortunately, he succumbed to his injuries. The boy was identified as Jamani Amir Rivera by Cook County Medical Examiner's officials office on Wednesday. I can tell you the weapon used to unalive this baby is illegal. It has no business on the streets or anywhere else for that matter. Mayor Brandon Johnson. Snelling noted that detectives believed the shooting was random and that the child was not the intended target, which, believe it or not, many times in Chicago, the child is the intended target, right? I can't talk about what the cartel's doing in Mexico and how they're oppressing people if I'm not talking about our own fucking oppression right here in our own streets, all right? So very often is the child a target. This time they say the child wasn't the target, but very easily and often that can be the fact and the truth, right? Snelly noted that detectives believed the shooting was random and that the child was not the intended target. Police are currently canvassing the area looking for evidence and potential video footage of the incident. In this day and age, I'm pretty sure that they can, and I don't know how they don't catch these serial killers. I don't know how to, because it's all happening here. It's all happening in your town. But with all of these cameras, stitching together a patchwork of, places you've been and places you were headed, I'm sure they could stitch that up, man. I'm sure that's not that, we basically like the BBC in Europe, like the cameras are everywhere. So where's that footage at? Quote, but this is unacceptable. We're losing our children and we really need to think about the gun violence that's going on in this city. And we all need to step up to try to fight this gun violence to save our children. And let's not get it twisted. All right? People like to turn this into a politicized conversation and say, oh, it's the gun, it's the this, it's violence, dog. Enough with the fucking drugs already, man. Put your foot on the neck of the fucking violence. Fix that. But it ain't new. This ain't just, it's been unacceptable for a long time. We all need to step up to try to fight this gun violence to save our children. How? I've been hearing the same shit since I'm a kid. I've been hearing the same shit. I've been seeing people march. I've been seeing people bring awareness. I've been part of those efforts. Waiting for the day that one community turns to 2 communities, 3 communities, 7 communities, exhausted with the same shit happening already, and they raise their own guns and start fucking figuring it out and pushing back. Even the gangbangers. If you in the hood, you like to get money, you like to get after your ops, cool, get money, get after your ops. But if you got a fucking loose cannon that you know is a loose cannon, that all he is out for blood, a psychotic, like we be talking about on this channel on a regular, well, you got to do something with him. Or else he kills kids like this. Kids that ain't got nothing to do with nothing but positivity and good shit. That's what happens. Same shit with these memes about the Tea Party, right? Boston Tea Party. This company went to war over tax, over a small, tiny tax. And now, every day, we allow ourselves to be sock puppets to this government. Every day, without kicking up any fucking dust. But we kick up dust about a whole bunch of other shit that don't even fucking matter. We kick up a bunch of dust about a whole bunch of other shit that who gives a fuck about, you know? Because we don't identify as human. We can't figure out what we identify as anymore. Everybody's changing their mind. But what I do see is we can't identify as human. As the hip-hop guru said, change can only occur with good leadership. Possibly. But almost every example I'm giving of a leader is somebody that eventually abuses that power of leadership. Right? And if they don't, they end up assassinated, unalived. Neighbors said gunfire has been rampant in the area for some time. The shooting comes just 3 weeks after 5-year-old Reg Ware was unalived 1 block away. That unaliver remains at large. So it's just overlapping kids getting gunned down and there's no answers, overlapping no answers all over the place. Everybody is sleep on the fucking job, sleep at the wheel. That's what we talking about. Salute Big June on the check-in. The new youth are dumb. We were dumb too. There was always loose cannons around us too that we couldn't control. You know? Now, yeah. Is it a little dumber? Maybe. Right? I was saying it then, I say it now today. To all of you motherfuckers with gats and switches and you doing all this closing your eyes and busting behind your head and all of this shit and you just spraying up a crowd, fuck you. Die slow. I'd rather you die slow than that child go the way he did. Huh? I'd rather you die slow than go the way that child did. Now who knows what happens to this video, demonetization, to the channel, whatever. I'm under threat of this bullshit every day. It makes you not even want to do it. They've taken the fun out of speaking because you can't say shit. So I'm not tripping or stressing about getting 1 million views on this video because who gives a fuck? You only give a fuck if I get up on the table and dance. You know? And I don't dance. If I was a dancer, I'd have been rich a long time ago. Alright? But if you out there, this has been an excuse for many, many, many years. This the deal. The crazy one of the crew, ooh, I'm going to go outside and get some ops. And he go get a cualquiera. He go get a anybody. He hit the anybody. He come back, I don't know what y'all talking about. I got an op. That old lady, man. You pussy. Open your fucking eyes. Aim. Take a good look at it. You out there shooting babies? And that's what happened with everything. You didn't have to be... It's every year, more and more, you have to be less proficient at any fucking thing that you do. Right? That's how we are depreciating as a fucking people. You know? For instance, I'll use rap as an example. There was a time you had to be lyrical, and now we're at a point where you can fucking make fart sounds with your mouth. And if enough people laugh at you, you'll get a cajillion spins on Spotify and make $3. You know what I mean? You had to be proficient with weapons. You had to know what you was doing, know who you was shooting at. Now you close your eyes and go, jump out the car, closing eyes and busting at each other, just swinging video game guns around. You don't have to be proficient. All right? So now we got we have a crime scene that's across the streets. Salutes Ed the Hip Hop Guru for the $1.99 super chat. Said we got to push knowledge and understanding. Absolutely. Always. Always. Absolutely. All right, let me see this. Ed the Hip Hop Guru. Children are innocent. Absolutely. Big June said they can't take ass whooping, so they turn to a gun, thinking that makes them a savage. No heart. Yeah, but we played with guns too. We scrapped and played with guns. That was the difference. Now there's no scrapping. They can't scrap wearing those clothes they be wearing. Chucky said, yep, there was a kid who did a drive-by, unalived the kid here, left to Mexico. The dealers got to him, told him he was a choice. He has a choice, turn himself in or unalive. He turned himself in. Yeah, I mean, shit. You know what I'm saying? You gotta do what you gotta do. You fucked up. You know?
Now you see now, you done fucked up, you know that, don't you?
Ivan said, let me ask y'all something. Y'all know what a gun show is? Absolutely. Chucky said, true. Boom, there it is. That's Ed the Hip Hop Guru's 199 Super Chat. Appreciate you, sir. Big June said they don't listen, though. Nah, they don't. They don't. I mean, what language was they going to talk to us with? They was probably going to have to scrap to get us to understand. You know what I mean? You got to catch the ones that do. That, too. That exists. They're out there. There's smart dudes in the hood. Smart dudes in the gangs. All of that. They know better. They exist. They exist. Sometimes they're afraid of that loose cannon. Salute Felix Reyes on the check-in. Big June said, yeah, I went down for using a gun in 96. It happens. Salute JFL on the check-in. Felix Reyes, there's a lot of scared shooters. Right. Right? Nobody cares. So there's an overlapping problem here. You got across the street from the apartment complex, you already got something happening over there, right? Boom. That's one crime scene. Then you got young Jamani across the street. What's happening to him is happening to him over there, right? Then you got 3 weeks earlier, a 5-year-old, dog, unalived a block away. The unalivers remain at large. The tragedy that we are experiencing right now are the direct results from decades of disinvestment. I agree. You think that America don't already have the money to fix hoods? They've just been putting this shit off so long. Every now and then, 2 or 3 of us claw the fuck out of there. But they just been keeping up people in poverty and with their foot on their neck for so long. The development, it be slow in some places. You know what I'm saying? But you don't think we got the... See, here's the thing. Here's the difference between me and some of y'all. I'm not going to politicize none of it because to me, fuck both sides. You know what I'm saying? To me, a government that is not there to fix the problems of the people... That's not the people's government. You know? So, the tragedy that we're experiencing right now are the direct results from decades of disinvestment. Some people say, get the fuck out of here. We spend money in there all the time. Other people say, nah, say the opposite. That's the game we play as humans. Let's argue and bicker back and forth, and we'll keep having the same conversation over and over and over and over, and more Jamanis die, and more Reds die, and more babies die, and nobody gives a fuck. Bunch of pussyfoots. Everybody gonna mind their business. Wasn't their kid. Wasn't their kid. I can't go to another march. I can't go to any marches. It's been happening since I was a little kid. I don't get it. I don't get it. Every resource we get from the mayor's office, we're going to saturate locations with all the resources we can. What does that mean? You're going to saturate? The damage is done. What? You're going to saturate the hood for a couple of days, then what? Then what you going to do? How you going to fix this? Hit the like button, y'all. How you gonna fix it? Violations. Shooting in any direction, but you said, we could fight and but you could fight and get your ass whooped, but you had your respect. Absolutely. They don't understand respect. Respect out the fucking window. Respect is an old man word. Respect to them has changed. It means fear. That motherfucker better respect me. Respect don't mean what it meant. It means fear now. The respect they get come from fear. Be worried that I might do something to you. Why? Because I'm a loose cannon. I'll smoke you right now. I'll put you in a song. Right? JFL said, time for a deep cleaning and start from scratch. Man. Chuck Chingong said, I never carried my shit because I was shown you pull it, you better use it. Rather take an ass whooping and live another day. Absolutely. Big June said you had to have your target ready or you had to deal with the consequences from your OGs in the hood. There was a time in this world where you couldn't just run around unaliving fucking babies, man. There was a time where there were groups like the Black Panther Party that wasn't fucking having that. We lost that. Somebody should be in a fucking outrage out there. The gangs should have went and found Buddy that did this. Huh? Why the nations didn't go and get Buddy that shot the little kid? Huh? Oh man, bunch of little gringuitos getting hit, be problems. St. Louis, Indiana, Wisconsin, anybody can show up to a gun show and buy guns cash, no questions asked. Stop all gun shows and watch gun violence go down. And here's the thing, I'm a gun guy. I want my guns. I want to have my guns. Here's my problem. My problem is with black and white, right? When it's only this or it's this. People, oh, you're going to over-regulate weapons. Man, well, some regulation might have just a little bit. Like that. Let's keep a paper trail of what's happening here. Right? That's too much for the other side. They say, oh, you're a libtard. And then when I say, but I want my guns, they'll be like, oh, you're a Republican. Like, come on, man. No, there's no compromise. Because it's not about the greater good. It's about who wins and who doesn't. You just want your ideology to win. You know? June said facts. Nowadays, peeps want to be feared, more feared than love. Absolutely. And again, the word respect is changed to, that means fear, man. You better fucking respect me. Residents expressed their outrage at the shooting. We should not have to live like this, one woman said. Nobody was reported in custody. The investigation is ongoing. Okay? Let's see. What else I got here? Then I got this from today, and then I got a video for us to watch. Let's get it. This is an article from today. Happy birthday to my nephew Christian. Love you, boy. Do your thing. Let's see. What do we got here? Teen charged with murder and unaliving, and shooting unaliving of 7-year-old boy near West Side. Chicago police say. Mind you, this ain't a Chicago thing. This is an everywhere thing. This is an everywhere thing, right? Wherever it's happening. I mean, it happens here a lot, but I'm sure it happens in other places, right? California ain't no, soft shit going on over there. No soft shit happening in New York. Shit happens, right? Happens too much, dog. And the community used to police that type of shit. And the community needs to police that type of shit. All right? Teen charged with the murder. Well, teen charged with unaliving and shooting unaliving of 7-year-old boy on near West Side, Chicago police say. Charges are being announced Friday afternoon for Jaimani Amir Rivera's unaliver by the Chicago Police Department Friday evening, officials said. Rivera was shot and unalived by a stray bullet earlier this week on the West Side. A 16-year-old male offender has been charged with multiple felonies for first-degree unaliving and for personally discharging a firearm that caused unaliving. $16 years old, y'all. 16 years old. Who's you shooting at, shorty? Huh? The fuck were you looking at? 16-year-old? Rivera was shot and unalive by a stray bullet earlier this week on the west side. A 16-year-old male offender has been charged with multiple felonies for first-degree unaliving and for personally discharging a firearm that caused death. The charges were announced in an afternoon press conference held by Chicago Police Department Superintendent Larry Snelling and other CPD officials. Snelling discussed the urgency that went into the arrest over the last 3 days. Streets should have ate that motherfucker. Am I wrong? I've been wrong before. Give a fuck. Street should have ate dude before the police got to him. Police said the 16-year-old suspect also had an active warrant prior to the fatal shooting for failing to appear on an unrelated arrest. The offender will not be named by Chicago police because he's a juvenile. Nah. You 16. You're a juvenile? Okay, I think you're a juvenile until you shoot a 7-year-old in the chest. I think after that you're an adult. And I think the least they could do is put your face and name out. But the streets should have ate you before the police got to you. Salute Zorada, thank you. Detective said he was seen on surveillance video running away from the scene Tuesday after Rivera was shot in the chest. The suspect was found Thursday at his apartment and taken into custody. Police recovered 13 rifle casings on scene, but have not been able to find the weapon used in the shooting. They found a stolen weapon during the arrest that was not used in Tuesday's shooting. Police said the 16-year-old is believed to be the only suspect in the shooting at this time. A motive for the shooting is not known. Earlier in the day, Friday, there were demands for peace and justice on the west side of Chicago. The family of Amir Rivera was joined by neighbors and community leaders marching to end gun violence after the 7-year-old boy was shot to death Tuesday outside his home. We are calling for citywide peace. Salashea Peterson with Hug a Child, Make a Change said, "We are calling for all the men to stand up for a citywide peace treaty and get a hold of these young guns. I'm convinced they can't." The men? Which men are you talking about? The men in the gang? I'm convinced they can't control these young. I'm convinced they can't. They'll get mad at a motherfucker like me before they get mad at them. I'm convinced they cannot get a hold of these youngins. Rivera had stepped outside to take something to his grandmother at the Oakley Square apartments near Jackson and Western when police said he was shot in the chest by a stray bullet fired in the area. Shout out Upper Echelon on the check-in. Salutes. Felix Reyes said they call my city Philadelphia. We got it bad in Philly too. I don't doubt it. I got people out there. I don't doubt it a little bit. Salute Young Jizzle. He said we got gun shows in Texas, plus we open carry, but they still do background checks at the gun shows here. Yeah. I mean, something. There has to be something. You can't just, I feel like you can't just walk in somewhere, put some money down and leave without a name on something, some kind of record. Why? Because if that shit ends up in some 16-year-old hand that takes out a 7-year-old, I need to know where the fuck that gun came from, man. You know? Something. But again, people politicize it and say, no regulations at all. Not even a little bit. No regulations. They get all fucking Burt Lancaster on me and shit. No, zero regulations, bro. Everything is regulation, bitch. All right? Food and Drug Administration, fucking Game and Wildlife Administration. You need a fucking license to get a goddamn fish, to catch a fucking fish. What are we talking about here? Boom. It's not the guns, it's the people. Right. But we need to know where those guns are getting in the hands of these little kids. All right, man. Let me see. Check this out. On Thursday, his 10-year-old cousin Joel discussed the pain of losing Jamani. He had something to live for, Joel said. He was only 7. He was just starting football, but he was taken away. Thursday's March for Peace comes as Chicago police say a person of interest is in custody for Rivera's murder. Alderman Walter Burnett of the 27th Ward joined the family in the march, praying for justice in the case and peace across the city. Love is gonna outpower hate, Burnett said. I've been hearing this bullshit for fucking... We need to continue to try to get guns out of kids' hands and put something else in their hands, something positive. So where the fuck is the money to do that? Nobody's giving... Where's that money? What happens? That money gets allocated. Somebody takes their cut. Somebody else takes their cut. They throw the crumbs at the kids. And kids just keep dropping like flies. And I keep hearing the same, love is gonna fucking overpower hate speech. Huh? The Fred Hamptons of the world, the Malcolm X's, were here to deal with shit like this. We ain't got that no more. Nobody gives a fuck. Selective outrage. Outrage in a small radius. That boy's family's outraged. Whole city should fucking burn if some baby gets shot. Every gang in the city should be looking for the man who shot a baby. That's how the game should be. But we every moment that passes, we just give up a little bit more of the humanity. Give up a little bit more. Less outrage over more things. I can't keep up with the mass shootings. I couldn't tell you the last 12 of them. Can't keep up. Can't keep up. Oh, love's gonna overpower hate. Let's build community centers and get something in the hands of kids. So where it's at? Where it's at? Meanwhile, children held up signs surrounded by their community. All of them calling on Mayor Brandon Johnson to find solutions for violence in Chicago. Richard J. Daley, Richard M. Daley, Jane Byrne, Harold Washington, Rahm Emanuel, what's the last one? Whatever the last mayor's name was. Ain't none of them figure out the violence problem in Chicago. Fuck Brandon Johnson gonna do? That boy drowning. What he gonna do? Huh? Find solutions for violence in Chicago. What? What does that even mean? What does that even mean? Felix, the shit going on in Kensington. It's fucking ridiculous. The shit going on in LA. Fucking ridiculous. It's crazy. It's crazy. Meanwhile, children held up signs surrounded by their community, all of them calling on Mayor Brandon Johnson to find solutions for violence in Chicago. Mayor, I have a question for you. Are you doing this for your reputation or for our future? Joel said. I hope nobody pushed the kid to say that shit or politicize that. But again, Brandon Johnson ain't gonna fix shit that the Dailies couldn't fix, that the Burns couldn't fix, that nobody could fix. Ain't nobody fixing shit. They're fixing them. They're fixing their boats up for their trips, their kickbacks. Nobody fixing shit. All right, let's get to this press conference. Salutes. Salutes. Also, I'm gonna drop the I have the official what's it called? The official GoFundMe for this family. I'm gonna drop it in the chat. For those that can and want to participate in that, please do. For those that don't, absolutely no pressure, but I'd rather put it out there than not. So let me go get that. Give me 1 sec, y'all. All right, here we go. Get this. Where is it? Let me see. I'm just looking for his official GoFundMe because there's been fake ones out there. I'm telling you, bro, humans don't got there's no low level of what a human won't do. You know what I'm saying? They scam GoFundMes of children and all kind of shit, bro. It's crazy. It is pretty fucking crazy. And get this. Let me copy this link. Here we go. Big June, they break into gun owners' houses, and there you go. Yeah, that happens too. And cars, because a lot of dummies just leaving their shit laying around and shit. Well, dummies, I call them dummies here because if you got it concealed in Chicago, you might as well have it on you. What you leaving it in the glove compartment for? When anybody could just snatch your shit. There is a site where you can buy guns all day long, no regulations, like a Craigslist for guns. I know. That's a problem. There's a lot of problems that they need to show up. They're not worried about them. They're worried about the wrong shit. Big June said they send money to all these other countries when we can use it right here with our kids and our homeless. 150,000% the truth. Facts. Young Jizzle says that either Arizona's a little similar to Texas, right? At least with a lot of laws. Plus, we both border states with Mexico. Facts. Zorada said everyone is to catch up with the right to bear arms, like if we had to fight for our lives and hunt for our food. No one is trying to take your AK your effing rights away. But if you're out here breaking the law, and that's my point. My point is, do not take my gun rights. Alright? Do not take my fucking gun rights. I'll fight for my guns. Alright? They're necessary. But to also be on the other side of it and just be irresponsible and just say, let's willy-nilly trade, toss, push, pull, give them away, sell them. Like, come on, what are we doing here? We need a record of that shit. If you have mental problems, you shouldn't have one, you know. But look at the country we're in, a country that shuts down our mental health facilities. That's where we at. Our people suffering from mental health problems have been thrown to the street. They're outside. The GoFundMe is in the chat, y'all. Salutes. Upper Echelon said, I read they shot up a funeral today. I believe I saw that too. I briefly saw it at the corner of my eye. I cannot keep up. I cannot keep up with the atrocities. All right? That's what they are, atrocities. Jizzle said there was like 2,000 firearms that got stolen from vehicles, break-ins just in San Antonio all of 2023. I'm telling you, it's just a cycle of the same shit. And I'm pretty sure one of those guns has shot a 7-year-old. They're making ghost guns, replicas, just like everything. I mean, they're 3D printing lowers. But this story, this been happening way before they was printing lowers. Way before, you know, all of that. This story's been repeating itself over and over again. And bright young men like Jamani are the ones that suffer from it. Their families are the ones that suffer from it. This is not a new story. All right? All right, so boom, I put the GoFundMe in the chat. Salutes. Let me drop it here so that I have it. I don't want to do that again. Bet. Let's get this out of here. Let's get this out of here. Also, Chucky Chigon said, "Gotta lock up your weapon." I knew a kid in junior high who would steal his mom's 22 and bring it to school. Absolutely. Young Jizzle said, "There's two cowards out on the loose right now, walking up to a townhome with two Dracos, and 4-year-old girl was the victim." See, the streets should have, the people they done dirt with, the people who know who they are, they should have either turned them in or they should have ate those motherfuckers for breakfast. The streets should be eating these motherfuckers. You hurt a baby, you end up hurt. Period. Point blank. But nah. Oh, that was my cousin though. It was just something stupid he did. All right, well, maybe you got to go with him. The fuck are we talking about here? All right, let me see if I get this this pressure real quick so I can smoke something and calm down. This ain't nothing new, man. This is not nothing new. I've been talking. I got a song called "There's Been a Murder." That's I don't know how old that song is. Maybe 15, maybe more years old. It's talking about the same thing. This shit ain't new. This ain't new. Yo, what the fuck? There it is. I don't want the long press conference. I want the edited press conference where they cut their, because that's another thing. They get in these press conferences and they want to thank everybody. Save the credits for you know what I'm saying? Get out of here with the credits, bro. Want to thank this and these people and that people. Tell us what's happening. Enough. Enough. All right, here we go. Fucking credit. Credit for what?
All right, good afternoon, everyone. First thing, before we get started for why we're here, I'd like to mention the tragic loss of life of a 73-year-old retired Chicago police officer, bomb tech, and reverend in his community, Larry Newman. He tragically lost his life yesterday at the hands of violent offenders who gunned him down. And I just wanted to acknowledge that and keep his family in your prayers.
Who gunning down a 73-year-old? For what?
I'm joined here today by Chief of Detectives Antoinette Ursitti, Area 3 Detective Commander Rodney Hill, members of the Area 3 Detective Division, 12th District Commander Beth Giltmeyer, Director of Community Policing Glenn Brooks, 27th Ward Alderman Walter Burnett, Chief of Staff Christina Zayas, First Deputy Natasha Scott from the Mayor's Office, and the Office of Community Safety, and Celicia Peterson from Hug a Child, Make a Change. And let me be clear with Chief of Staff Christina Zayas. She's the Chief of Staff for the Mayor of the City of Chicago. 3 days ago, 7-year-old Jaimani Amir Rivera was senselessly murdered outside his residence in the 2300 block of West Jackson. Today, we secured felony first-degree charges against a 16-year-old male offender. He was also charged with felony first-degree murder, personally discharging a firearm that caused the death, and issuance of a warrant. This offender was taken into custody yesterday afternoon by members of the Chicago Police Department and the U.S. Marshals Great Lakes Regional Task Force less than 48 hours after the shooting. For the past 3 days, the Area 3 Detective Homicide Team working this case has been fully focused on bringing justice to Jaimani and his family. These detectives and members of the Area 3 Area Technology Team have sifted through evidence, interviewed witnesses, and gathered the intelligence needed to charge this offender in partnership with the Cook County State's Attorney's Office. They did great work to hold this offender accountable. And again, let me say it again, they did excellent work to hold this violent offender accountable and take him off the streets so that he can't destroy another family.
What does all of that mean? What they did an investigation, they went and got Buddy. Like, what are you talking about?
I also want to, so that he can't destroy another family. I also want to acknowledge the 2 field training officers and probationary police officer from the 12th District who responded to the scene. They responded heroically.
There you go.
They immediately rendered aid and transported the child to the hospital in their squad car.
That's different.
While his injury...
That's not them going to arrest Buddy and then we got to give them a grandiose speech. You know, like... I don't know. I'm bitter.
They immediately rendered aid and transported the child to the hospital in their squad car. While his injuries were too severe, these officers did everything they could in an attempt to save this child. I want to thank them for the way they handled this chaotic situation and the trauma that's associated with it. Jaimani's life was taken from him. For what? There is no excuse for this violence. It's unacceptable that we have Chicagoans losing their lives. It's absolutely maddening, heartbreaking that innocent children are dying in our city. Parents...
This has been unacceptable for many, many, many years, man, and it keeps fucking happening. It keeps happening. It keeps happening.
Should not have to bury their children.
Absolutely not.
It's not fair that our community members are continuously exposed to this type of trauma stemming from the level of violence that we're seeing. Please keep Jaimani's family in your thoughts.
No, esto es un error. It's double of what I'm making right now.
You're gonna be a millionaire in 10 years.
Their lives were changed forever in a matter of minutes. We're focused on accountability, but we are also focused on Jaimani's parents who need our support. I just want to be clear with one thing, and I want to give credit where credit is due. Chicago Police Department has done an excellent job of following up on this particular situation. I just want to make it clear to everyone that when a life is lost, our police officers feel it. Our detective division feels it. We're in the business of holding people accountable who act out violently against our citizens. We want to make sure that we take those people into custody so there is a level of comfort that we have taken a murderer off the streets. The people that you see standing here to my left done an excellent job of getting this work done. These detectives, along with other members of our police department and other police agencies, have worked tirelessly to make sure that we took someone into custody who shot aimlessly in the direction of a 7-year-old, striking him in the chest and taking his life. So I just want to give credit where credit is due and the work that's being done. But I also want to thank everyone who is standing here who has worked in partnership with the Chicago
what did he say?
Of a 7-year-old striker, that we took someone into custody who shot aimlessly to make sure that we took someone into custody who shot aimlessly in the direction of a 7-year-old, striking him in the chest and taking his life.
I just wanted to make sure if he said that he was targeted or if he was shooting aimlessly. He said aimlessly. All right, salute.
So I just want to give credit where credit is due and the work that's being done. But I also want to thank everyone who is standing here who has worked in partnership with the Chicago Police Department to get this done. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Chief City for the investigative overview. Chief City.
I want to echo Superintendent Snelling in asking for our city to focus on Jaimani's family. They are going through the unimaginable at this time and need our support. I'm going to provide a brief overview of the investigation conducted by Area 3 detectives. Their work is why we were able to take this offender into custody within 48 hours of the shooting. Detectives immediately responded to the scene this past Tuesday and recovered video evidence of the shooting. The 16-year-old offender is seen approaching on foot before he stops and opens fire, striking Jaimani. The video shows the offender fleeing on foot. Members of the Area 3 Technology Center continued to canvass for video near the scene, and with the support of the community, were able to document his movements before and after the shooting. Using this video,
those videotapes is a tapestry of where you go, where you at, where you headed.
Detectives were able to disseminate the offender's image to officers in a bulletin seeking to identify the individual. 12th District officers recognized the offender and provided detectives with the identity. It was learned he had an active warrant for a failure to appear in court on an unrelated arrest. Additionally, detectives...
Okay, well, if he had a warrant, right? Just tell me if I'm crazy. If he had a warrant and they knew who he was, and eventually they found him, what I read, they found him in his apartment, right? Why y'all didn't go find him in his apartment for that warrant before this happened?
Detectives received an anonymous tip through the tip line that assisted in identifying the offender. Members of the CPD and the U.S. Marshals Great Lakes Regional Fugitive Task Force were able to locate the offender at his residence on the 1800 block of West Monroe, where he was arrested. A stolen weapon that was not used in this crime was also recovered at the scene of the arrest. These homicide cases are always difficult, but it's very difficult when it's an innocent child. I want to reiterate the amount of work the Area 3 Detective Division did in just a few short days to bring justice in this case and a measure of closure to Jaimani's family. I'll now turn it over to First Deputy of the Office of Community Safety, Natasha Scott.
Stay into this video. Salutes, Young Jesus said, yo, that's crazy. Shy, something similar happened here. An 80-year-old lady leaving the Alamo Dome from a high school graduation was hit in crossfire while leaving the event in the vehicle. These dudes is just in the middle of a crowd, just trying to air each other out and hitting everybody but each other. Again, not new. Not new in the least. Not new in the least. All right. Let me see. And again, I'll get to it. Let me pull up the video. These videos. What's this? This is today. No, this is 2 days ago. Let me find something. Salutes IB on the check-in. Sad story. Your vid sucks. So sad. Salutes. Appreciate you. Yeah, sad story. A sad story that continues to happen all over the place, over and over and over again. I don't get it. I don't get it. I get it, but I don't get it. Let's see what this. Salute, your vid sucks. What up, Shy? Hope all is well. All this, you know, I can't complain, bro. You know, I can't complain. This young man's family, they got plenty to complain about. They got plenty to be upset about. I'm good. Salutes to you. I appreciate you being here. Salutes Big Blunt from the O. Salutes. Appreciate you. Salutes IB. No worries. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. Let's check this out.
Police arrested a suspect in the killing of a 7-year-old boy, and now he is facing charges.
And he is 16 years old. WGN's Andrea Medina is joining us live tonight with those details now. Andrea?
Hi, Ray and Jackie. Since the young boy's devastating death, his family has remembered him as a friendly kid who loved football and video games. The arrest is justice and an answered prayer for them.
There is a level of comfort that we have taken a murderer off the streets.
48 hours after 7-year-old Jaimani Amir Rivera was gunned down outside his near West Side home, CPD announced on Friday they have arrested a 16-year-old boy in connection to the child's murder.
Jaimani's life was taken from him. For what? There is no excuse for this violence. It's absolutely maddening, heartbreaking that innocent children are dying in our city.
The 16-year-old is facing first-degree murder charges, among other felonies. The teen was taken into custody from his home on Thursday, which is just blocks away from where the shooting occurred near Jackson and Oakley Boulevards. Police say about 13 rifle casings were recovered at the scene, but they don't have the weapon the teen's accused of using. Police praise detectives and other agencies for the swift arrest, though they credit an anonymous tip and video evidence for assisting them in tracking down the teen. Police say Jaimani was never the intended target, but they still don't know what sparked the gunfire.
I wish I could tell you more, but this is the frustration that we feel up here, is that a 7-year-old child lost his life, and we can't give you any justification.
We want justice!
Earlier in the day, before the arrest announcement, a large crowd endured the hot weather elements to hit the streets near the site where Jaimani was killed to take a stand against gun violence. Family, including Jaimani's mom, were front and center, holding pictures of him up high. Jaimani's cousin is in disbelief that he's gone.
It was a very shocking experience. I'm very hurt, and it's hard to sleep at night.
Jaimani was shot and killed on Tuesday as he walked out the Oakley Square apartments. Families say he left his home to visit his grandmother, but when he reached the sidewalk, he was hit by a stray bullet. When CPD officers found the boy with a gunshot wound to his chest, they attempted life-saving measures and rushed him to the hospital, but he didn't make it.
Stand up for these babies, because they matter, and we don't kill kids.
Celicia Peterson with Hug a Child.
And again, don't get it messed up. When I say, oh, you know, the marches and all of this, the marches are necessary, you know. But as a people, what else can we this has been going on for too long. This has been going on for many years. Just the ones that I know. So I can only imagine the rest of the country, let alone, you know. Right? But this is a memorial and a dedication to this young man. You know what I'm saying? You know, got his cousin out there, like. But this kid right here that's on the screen, he shouldn't be going through that trauma. But he is. This is with him forever. He takes this with him forever. All right? This is a pivotal moment in this young man's life.
Make a Change led the march and was joined by other gun violence prevention groups. They're fed up and angry beyond words over lives being taken by guns.
Stop the violence, let's put these guns down.
But they're hoping the desperate pleas from the community are heard by those who are pulling the triggers. While Jaimani's family can begin to seek closure, the arrests made in his case brings a mix of emotions.
Relief because of our diligent and dedicated police force has successfully apprehended the individuals. Sorrow because we must face the heartbreaking reality that another young life has been taken too soon.
Now the teen will be tried in adult court. He's expected to make his first court appearance tomorrow. We are live outside CPD headquarters. Andrea Medina, WGN News.
I wanted to get the little boy's speech. Salutes IB. How's your uncle today? He's all good. I appreciate you for asking. Thank you. Good.
Shopify Point of Sale makes it easy.
Trying to find the young man's speech. This is the same broadcast. How many of you guys know the Yummy Sandifer story? She's been happening forever, man. Ivan said he was what, walking by himself at 7 years old? No, he was in his apartment complex, and he had came outside to go next door. I guess it's it's a doorway, and it's a normal thing for him. And he was at his apartment complex, and Shorty walked up and started busting. Disgusting. Yeah, man, I'm trying to find the video of the march itself and the speech from the young man. Big Blanc says social economics plays a huge part in all of this. I've personally never been to Chicago, but I hear what everyone else hears about it, and it's crazy. The gang culture is on a different level. And again, this has been happening for a long time, and it doesn't only happen here, but yeah, shit's out of control. Right? Like they said, these communities have been, underdefended, underdeveloped, underinvested, all of that. Eddie Jimenez said Yummy was lured to his death. Ivy, man, this is happening in hoods all over the country for decades. A lot of kids have been shot inside their homes from drive-bys, not even leaving the house. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Yummy was lured to his death. Yummy's a very different story than a very, very different story. Let's not get that fucked up. Yummy's a very different story than Jamani. All right? Jamani was going next door to I don't know if it was his grandmother or his cousins, but he was going next door. Same way he usually does. In a free country. He was gunned down. 7 years old. 7 years old. I'm really trying to find the march itself and the speech of the child.
Déjame te muestro cómo algo.
Protests do bring attention, but it's going to take more than protests, yeah. Again, I feel like the streets should have ate the kid that did this before the police got to him.
Breaking news at this hour. Charges are filed in the fatal shooting of a 7-year-old boy as people fill a West Side Street.
The same one I just watched. Figure this out. And they still ain't found a weapon. They found weapons, but had nothing to do with what he did. Damn, man, where's the coverage of this, the coverage of this vigil? I want to see, I want to hear the kid's speech. I want you to hear the kid's speech. I heard a piece of it. And now it's like it don't exist. Let me Google it. Jamani. How y'all doing tonight? Salutes. I brought y'all a bummer late at night. Salutes. Hundreds up in the chat for y'all. I wouldn't be me. I wouldn't be me if I wasn't shining light on this young man right now. IB said, thank God for content like this and for a lot of the OGs to come out of prison and start to guide the youth. Turns out shit gets really bad when you imprison multiple generations of fathers and uncles, etc. Absolutely. And they'll act like that don't exist. The power structure.
Targaryens are gone. Burn them all!
Now, earlier today, people in that child's near West Side community held a rally around his family. They marched for peace and demanded justice. NBC 5's V. Wynn was there.
We want justice! We want justice!
A march for peace.
Don't kill kids!
These are the faces of the young kids who just lost their classmate, friend, and cousin to gun violence in the city. 7-year-old Jamani Rivera is the latest child killed in what Chicago police were calling a random shooting at Oakley Square Apartments.
I'm very hurt and it's hard to sleep at night.
His 10-year-old cousin shared memories about Jamani and says he misses him so much.
To see that smile on his face again, to see him run and fight again, to see him grow up and play football.
We love you, Jamani!
Rivera's family cried out his name as they marched along Jackson Boulevard, joined by families of other victims. This man says his daughter, Nicole Watson, was gunned down at the same apartment complex last May. She was picking up her 13-year-old son, who was also wounded in the shooting, but survived.
My heart is broken like their heart is broken. Neither one of us want to be in this crowd.
This is not the way that we should live. Why are we living like this? If you with me, you stand up for your city. And you stand up for these babies.
Several social services and violence prevention groups were on hand to provide support and resources to help families heal from the trauma and pain.
We are calling for city-wide peace. We are calling for all the men to stand up for a citywide peace treaty.
The alderman of this ward, Alderman Walter Burnett, admits more needs to be done.
If we don't have good programs in our neighborhood. What peace treaty? Some of these kids ain't doing it because they picked a side. It's no longer because he's BD or I'm GD or he's a vice lord and I'm this or he's a king and I'm that. It's not just that no more. It's I hate that motherfucker. I don't care. Or I'm just finna let it ride at random or this or that. It's not that simple as a peace treaty. You know, that's just a part of it. There's a psychology involved, and that psychology is not being addressed, has not been addressed for the last 30 years, 40 years, 50 years.
Neighborhood is a life or death situation.
As family, friends, and neighbors prepare for Jamani's funeral, his cousin wanted to share this message with the city.
Drop the guns, put them hands up.
The founder of Hug a Child, Make a Change, says they plan to hold
you, young man.
This peace march twice a month in communities affected by violence. Reporting from the 11th District Police Station, V1 NBC 5 News.
Salutes to you, young man. Hold on, y'all didn't see none of that? Oh, I gotta go back then. Hold on, we doing that again, son. My bad. Lost my focus. I even said most of the unalivings on my side of town, north side, don't make it to the news. It'd be like that too. The news cover what it want to cover, when it want to cover it. It's awful that we've been hearing voices that sound just like this. Mothers and raised, having just lost sons, being heard but not listened to since the early 90s. No change. Nothing changed. Nothing changed.
We want justice! We want justice!
A march for peace.
Don't kill kids!
These are the faces of the young kids who just lost their classmate, friend, and cousin to gun violence in the city. 7-year-old Jamani Rivera is the latest child killed in what Chicago police were calling a random shooting at Oakley Square Apartments.
I'm very hurt and it's hard to sleep at night.
His 10-year-old cousin shared memories about Jamani and says he misses him so much.
To see that smile on his face again, to see him run and fight again, to see him grow up and play football.
We love you, Jamani!
Rivera's family cried out his name as they marched along Jackson Boulevard, joined by families of other victims. This man says his daughter, Nicole Watson, was gunned down at the same apartment complex last May. She was picking up her 13-year-old son, who was also wounded in the shooting, but survived.
My heart is broken like their heart is broken. Neither one of us want to be in this crowd.
This is not the way that we should live. Why are we living like this? If you with me, you stand up for your city. And you stand up for these babies.
Several social services and violence prevention groups were on hand to provide support and resources to help families heal from the trauma and pain.
We are calling for city-wide peace. We are calling for all the men to stand up for a citywide peace treaty. security.
The alderman of this ward, Alderman Walter Burnett, admits more needs to be done.
If we don't have good programs in our neighborhood, it's a life or death situation.
As family, friends, and neighbors prepare for Jamani's funeral, his cousin wanted to share this message with the city.
Drop the guns, put them hands up.
The founder of Hug a Child,
Get
Make
it,
a Change,
shorty.
says they plan to hold this peace march
Drop
twice
the
a
guns,
month in
put them
communities
hands up. They won't do it though, shorty.
affected by
You
violence.
do. I hope
Wanted
you
to
do
share
it.
this
But
message.
guess what? Does that put you at a disadvantage? Man, unfortunately, in this world we live in.
With the city.
Drop the guns, put them hands up.
The founder.
Enough said. Salutes, man. I'm gonna keep an eye on the story and see what happens with Buddy that did it, and go from there. If y'all don't mind, whether y'all mind or you don't mind, I want to offer up a moment of silence to not only Jamani Amir Rivera, but all of these children that are falling victim to adults bullshit, you know. So I want to have a moment of silence for the babies, man. Here we go. All right, rest in peace, Jamani. It's a shame that has to be said. Rest in peace, young man. Rest peacefully. Salutes. With that said, let's see. Big Blanc said, I can't even imagine the type of PSD people having just growing up there, and I'm sure they believe it's normal. It's not. Yeah, I agree. I've told this story before. It didn't dawn on me until a friend told me. You know what I'm saying? Friend was like, yo, man, we got undiagnosed PTSD, dog. He said the shit just got normal for us. Salutes. Right. With that said, I want to move over to Yummy's story before we get out of here. Right, Hunter's up in the chat for y'all. Maybe we had a small group tonight, but a good group. Maybe the thumbnail was, you know, not intriguing enough for some people. Oh, and then there's this, like, I just want to play this. It's just 1 minute clip of a song that I did many years ago called There's Been a Murder. Just so that you know that I've been on this shit. This ain't new. It wouldn't be me if I didn't come up here and have this conversation about that young man. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to play this real quick. Suicide, the innocent and guilty. Dollar state is ill, the city shot, a killing spree, citywide. I look deep in my city's eyes, all I see is mothers cry, looking up at gloomy skies, open-minded, asking why my shorty had to die. Why hate you couldn't pass him by? The hate you have for other guys is ruining these families' lives. How many babies have to die cause you decide to drive by instead of walking up, seeing his eyes and saying bye-bye? The murder cap is more than rap, add a 4-4 to that. Spill a couple tons of blood and can't expect more than that. This is where the war is at. It's like they dropped the bomb of crack, hypodermic landmines. The baby step on all of that. It's time we started facing facts. It's all a plan to hold us back. It's why they got us holding straps, blowing ourselves off the map. Children dying in the street. What part of the game is that? Stupid bitch, you shot a baby. What the fuck you aiming at? Somebody dead. There it is. This is not new to me. This has been heavy on my heart for many, many years. So take it for what. Ivy said, imagine the PTSD or how the brain forms in the womb when you are being formed inside a woman who's living in constant fear for hers and her child's life. It goes beyond just PTSD. It's wiring. Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, we're getting, as humanity, we're getting rewired every day. We're rewired now to walk around with a phone. We rewired to be in constant contact. We're rewiring ourselves on a regular basis. Salutes, appreciate y'all. And if I find Shorty's full speech, then we'll get that played on the channel. I want to make sure that it's heard. You know, that it's heard. Get this down here. Let's check this out before we get out of here. For those that don't know the story. Again, very different story from Jamani's story. Jamani was just a kid going next door to go to family's house and got caught in some kind of random crossfire, right? Yummy, on the other hand, was a different story. You know, Yummy was a kid that was set up from birth for failure. You know what I mean? So his story is tragically different, but it's a story that needs to be heard. Salute, y'all. Appreciate you. I'm just waiting for this recording to render. Eddie Jimenez said Robert Yummy Sandiford was on the cover of Time magazine, 1994. Absolutely. All right, here we go. Start recording here. Boom. Let's get it.
11-year-old Robert, at 4'6" and only 68 pounds, 11-year-old Robert Sandiford lived a life plagued with violence and tragedy. His extremely short life should be a cautionary tale, but patterns of destruction that led to his death still exist today. A young life lost on the streets of Chicago is still, sadly, nothing new. Whose story... So who was Yummy? Whose story moved Tupac, so much so that he took on a crowd of gang members at one of his concerts one night, with no thought for his own safety. Decades later, the story still resonates in Chicago, and at the time, received national attention. Robert Sandiford was raised by his grandmother.
Pac was in heat for that. That's why I don't like when people talk crazy about Pac. Pac did all of the things that everybody in their right mind would not do. You know what I'm saying? He did those things. He stood up for the little person. He stood up for him. And I don't get it. I don't get where the slander comes in.
His mother was involved in prostitution, and his father was a drug felon. He was nicknamed Yummy because of his love for sweets. His aunt said he loved cookies, and his favourite were chocolate chip.
This channel pays enough, we get premium.
He grew up in the Roseland neighborhood, located on the south side of Chicago. In the last few months of his life, he ended up with 23 felonies, and he was in police custody around 30 times.
You hear that? 23 felonies and in custody 30 times.
Yummy ended up joining the Black Disciples. As is typical with young people who get recruited by gangs, he gained a sense of belonging and validation. A psychological report written by an examiner at a state-run shelter wrote, "Robert is a child, growing up without any encouragement and support. He is lonely and feels poorly about himself. He has a sense of failure that has infiltrated almost every aspect of his inner self. New members often see it as joining a new family. And if they've grown up without a father, they're more likely to be drawn to the male-dominated environment, where they are offered protection, provision of material possessions they could only dream of, and undeniable status on the streets. But these kids are often used by their older recruiters who simply want to evade the law and avoid doing prison time and possibly life sentences that they assume would be
I want to react to this from Ivy real quick. I got you. I hear you. You know what I'm saying? I argue, though, that he was all of those things. He wasn't trying to be shit. He was all of it. There was a piece of him that was all of it. Guys that are super street guys, when they get smoked, we don't say, oh, they was trying to be something they was not. Right? They still got smoked. They was being something that they are, but they still got smoked. My argument is that Pac was all of those things. I believe that there can be many facets to a human being. He don't have to show you all of them. He don't have to show me all of them. I don't have to show y'all all of them, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? But I believe he was all those things. And yeah, he probably would still be alive. I agree with you. Salute.
Easier for a kid to avoid, and recruiters who simply want to evade the law and avoid doing prison time and possibly life sentences that they assume would be easier for a kid to avoid, even if they get caught. And people are less likely to suspect a child if they are approached, so they use these kids as trigger men too. Yummy, who wore a gang tattoo on his forearm, was recruited by the Black Disciples to shoot a member of a rival gang, the Gangster Disciples. He carried out his assignment that evening and wounded 2 enemy teenagers just blocks from his home on West 107th Place. During the attack, a stray bullet killed an innocent bystander named Siobhan Dean. She was just 14.
14-year-old Siobhan Dean. This unfortunate story has been...
Jonathan Pinto just sent $5 salutes kill my dude. Somehow, someway I failed to recognize that there was a live until I just recently got a notification from Zoreda. I apologize for failing the committed chat. Like and subscribe for the great quality content. It's free 100 points.
Just I gotta put a sound effect on there because just out of nowhere, the voice of God, Morgan Freeman, just pops out of nowhere, and Jonathan pops out of nowhere. Salutes Jonathan for the $5 power chat. He said, "Salute Sha'il, my dude. Somehow, some way, I failed to recognize that there was a live until I just recently got a notification from Zoraida. I apologize for failing the committed chat. Like and subscribe for great quality content. It's free. Salutes to you. Welcome. Glad to have you. Salutes 298 on the check-in. Salutes Ivy. Salutes 298 on the check-in. I appreciate y'all. All right. Morgan Freeman's wilding. All right, give me a sec. Here we go. But again, this story's been part of my life for a long time. It was a big deal when it happened. It was an unfortunate situation. And I want to just highlight Siobhan Dean because she doesn't get the attention that Yummy gets sometimes. And she deserves some attention. You know what I'm saying? She was a young lady that was gunned down when she didn't need to be. Right? A baby. She was a baby gunned down by another baby. So, rest in peace, Siobhan Dean.
She was just hanging out on her street, right near her house. In the documentary, The Yummy Sandifer Story, Siobhan's aunt said that she was a very cheerful young lady and just beginning to start getting involved in doing hair. She liked going to church and hanging out with her cousins. She worked in a beauty shop in her spare time. Sadly, on that day, her aunt heard 2 gunshots and their kids came running in and told them that somebody had been shot. She ran to help and realized that it was her niece. Her brother discovered his daughter lying on the ground. The police arrived and she was pronounced dead upon arrival at the hospital. Robert went into hiding for 3 days. He eventually returned to the neighborhood looking for his grandmother. It is believed that he was considering turning himself in, something that the Black Disciples would not allow at all costs.
Can't have no 10-year-old snitch. No snitching. 298 said they didn't get a notification for this live either. It's very clear, my friend. YouTube hates me. Salutes. If we could be all so lucky to have a supporter as committed as Jonathan, I agree wholeheartedly. Salute Jonathan Pantoja. Salute Zorada found me. I catch the replay game. Hope y'all had a great live. Absolutely. It was more somber than usual. But also, those of y'all that noticed, some of y'all didn't notice, the last live that we did got taken down for a copyright. I trimmed it. I trimmed those little areas. We good. It's back up. So you guys can catch the replay of the stuff that you missed before. Also, the edited versions of those will be dropping in the next couple of days. But again, you get things in the live stream that you won't get necessarily in the edited version. So salute. You get all my fuck ups in the live stream. All right. Salute Jessica Chavez. I'm late. Did not get a notification. No worries. We're always on time. You can be part of the replay gang. All right. Again, YouTube hates me, so they don't like sending notifications out for me. So that's why I need y'all help to hit that like button and share and all of that good stuff, and I'll try to keep up my end of the bargain. Salutes. All right. So boom, they couldn't have no 10-year-old that just accidentally gunned down a 14-year-old girl. They can't have him end up in the hands of the police. So they got to get after it.
They believed he would snitch.
Salute, Jessica. I appreciate you being here, though. You're on time. Don't worry.
Under police would not allow. He was considering turning himself in. Something that the Black Disciples would not allow at all costs. They believed he would snitch under police interrogation. They recruited Craig Hadaway, a fellow gang member, to stop that from happening. He brought along his 14-year-old brother, Derek. While Yummy was waiting on the steps of the neighbor, the brothers approached him and promised him that they would help get him away to safety. He went off with them. When the neighbor came back out, Yummy was gone. Just a mile into the trip, Craig told Yummy to get out of the car with him, and they walked to an alleyway while Derek stayed behind. Craig walked Yummy to a pedestrian alleyway beneath the train tracks at the eastern boundary of the neighborhood. Derek would later go on to say that he heard 3 gunshots. Craig scrambled back into the car and they drove off. Yummy was found at 12:22 a.m. on September the 1st. His autopsy revealed 49 scars. The chief medical examiner said that some were likely the result of normal falls and mishaps of youth, but others, just as likely, evidence of the abuse he suffered at an early age. The story didn't receive national attention at first, until this point. One poignant headline simply said, "So young to kill, so young to die."
Do we blame Yummy for being what he was? Who's to blame? I think it's those generations of disinvestment.
Not only did it receive national attention, Yummy's image ended up on the front cover of Time magazine. The whole country became aware of the story, and it touched people to realize that 2 young lives were lost due to gang violence, and that also Yummy's killers were also 2 young boys who in a way faced losing their lives too, as they were pursued by police. In fact, many in the neighborhood couldn't believe that the brothers were capable of killing a young boy, and even insisted that they were innocent. But eventually, they were caught and tried as adults. They both ended up with life sentences. Many lives too were also 2 young boys who in a way faced losing their lives too, as they were pursued by police. In fact, many in the neighborhood couldn't believe that the brothers were capable of killing a young boy, and even insisted that they were innocent. But eventually, they were caught and tried as adults. They both ended up with life sentences. The story got the attention of Tupac Shakur, who is believed to have been deeply moved by the death of Yummy, and Siobhan Dean, to the point Tupac noticed that many in the crowd were throwing up gang signs. He soon came to realize that there were many Black Disciple gang members enjoying his concert. On Vlad TV, the Outlaws recalled this night and said that Tupac basically threatened the crowd and said, "If you kill any more kids, you're gonna have to answer to me." Well, not in those words, but something to that effect.
I mean, Pac had read that article on the way to the show. At that time, I think Yummy Sandifer's picture, that same picture you seen in that interview, was on the cover of Time magazine, and they had the title was Child Predator or something like that. And you know, Pac was a very sensitive dude, especially when it come to his people, you know what I mean? And you know, he was livid. He was disgusted by the whole story. He didn't understand it. He didn't understand why a kid had to be, you know, murdered. It didn't make sense to him. You know, it ended up in his music. If you listen to Me Against the World, Yummy Sandifer's name is mentioned, you know, throughout the project, and it's something that stuck with him. And so we go to do the show, and this dude, he lost it. He basically lost it.
On stage?
On stage.
What did he
lost
say?
It on the gang members, because there was a lot of dudes in the crowd, you know, throwing up gang signs. The gangsters love to come to Pac shows, you know, and there was certain songs that he would do that would just send them over the edge. So they throwing up their gang signs, but Pac is not looking at it like they saluting him. They really was just, you know, enjoying the music, loving the fact that he up there, and this is how they celebrate. They start throwing up their hood and throwing up their signs. But Pac is thinking about Yummy Sandifer, and he lost it. And basically, you know, threatened a crowd full of gangsters like, yo, y'all keep killing kids, I'll murder all you motherfuckers.
Keep it clean, man.
Well, you know, I want to quote the man right, man. He ain't say MFs. You know what I mean? That man, you know what I mean? He said what he said, and they lost it. You know, they lost it on us, man. We start fighting.
I don't know, Napoleon. If you found religion and we doing an interview together, you gonna hold me to your standards and I can't speak freely? Like, I don't get that part either.
With the crowd, we throwing bottles at them. They throwing bottles at us. They trying to get on stage. You know, it turned into a real ugly situation.
When people ask the question,
Pac had skin in the game. Now, I'm not saying he didn't make mistakes. He made mistakes, but he had skin in the game.
Of how a young boy can get involved in a gang and end up losing his life in the way Yummy did. One common theme is hardship, living in the hood and not being able to find work, and therefore people doing what they have to do to survive. In 2014,
Salutes 298. He said they don't like the chomo shit. I'm sure some of their execs are into that weird shit. YouTube, yeah, they hating on me. I don't know. They doing something to me, man. They don't want no part of me. The brothers were 16 and 14. It's just a whole child affair. I think I seen a remake of this on New York Undercover back in the day. If anyone here is old enough for that, I'm old enough for it. I don't remember that they did that one. I would like to see that now. Salute Zoraida, finally here. Made it. Salutes. Appreciate you. And thanks for finding Jonathan for us.
14, Craig and Derek have to do to survive. In 2014, Craig and Derek were interviewed for the first time. Craig was 36 and his brother would have been 34.
They're out now.
Craig admitted that when he was asked to kill Yummy, he was under no uncertain terms that it was his life or Yummy's. It was a matter of he does the job or he will be killed. So Craig felt that he had no choice.
Is that any different than what they did to those 5 friends in Mexico, the cartel? No different. Somebody told them, it's you or your friend.
Derek wasn't even supposed to be involved, but he didn't want to leave his brother to go there alone. So they went together.
It was an unusually chilly September night in 1994 as the body of an 11-year-old was loaded into the back of an ambulance. He had been shot twice in the back of the head in a hit ordered by the leaders of the Black Disciples.
What happened that night? Chaos.
Despite numerous requests over the years, this is the first interview Craig Hardaway has agreed to do. Craig was only 16 years old when his mugshot was plastered on TV, arrested for the murder of 11-year-old Robert Yummy Sandifer. His brother Derek, 14 at the time, was too young for his mugshot to be released. He was convicted of driving the getaway car. All 3, Craig, Derek, and Yummy, members of the same gang, chasing money, respect, and trying to make a name for themselves.
For me, it was more like identity. It was more like, okay,
I want to belong to something. I want to be a part of something.
It's an addiction. It's a strong addiction, and it pulls you in.
The two brothers insist that they are remorseful for what they did. In 2016, Derek was granted parole. His brother will not be eligible until 2024. Craig said, one message he would give to young people to not repeat the mistakes that he has made is, value your life. You matter. Look in the mirror and tell yourself that you matter. Derek addressed the way his case was portrayed in the media and said that someone came up with the term super predator and basically portrayed them as evil kids who had no soul. In one interview, he said, if someone labels you a super predator, people are always going to prejudge you. Once you have that label on you, you can't escape it. It's stuck there. I want to meet the person who actually
but they not looking too good now.
came up with that term. I'm not a predator. I was a kid who made a terrible decision, and I was a bully who took on other bullies, but I did not prey on the weak. Derek earned his GED and associate's degree in prison. In 1994, there were a reported 930 murders in Chicago, one of the highest on record. At the beginning of November this year, 2021, they were a reported 678 murders. What do you think of the Yummy Sandifer story and the tragic death of Siobhan Dean? Thanks for watching.
Rest in peace, Yummy Sandifer and Siobhan Dean. Yep. Too young to be driving too, shit. Absolutely. What's poppin', y'all? Everybody having a good night? We in here. Let me see what else I got here. I don't have nothing planned really. Just wanted to jump in and get that. Let me start this recording. Stop that one. Anybody catch the Kendrick Lamar concert, or what some are calling Drake's funeral? I say this, man. That was a hell of a performance from Kendrick. You know, the amount of time that he did, the breath control, the fact that he didn't have no TV tracks, he didn't lean on the crowd to cover his shit too much. And I saw a tweet that I have to say is pretty on point. It said, I didn't see that boy have a drink of water, and neither did I. So that is an amazing performance right there. A nail in the coffin. Salutes to him. They gave him they passed him the torch in 2011, and you know, he burnt Toronto down in 2024 as far as this battle goes. But as far as that show goes and the accomplishments that he made, from my understanding, a whole bunch of different sets. California was on that stage together, a monumental moment, you know. So let's see how long, you know, how long before we hear about tragedy. But salutes to Kendrick for what he did. It was a big look, a good look. Right? It was a good look. It was a good look. Hundreds up in the chat for y'all. Salutes. Let me see what I can find here. I was trying some different kind of short content, and some people like it, some people hate it. It's all right. Salutes to that on Jonathan. Ivy said, I watched the end of that today. I got hella emotional. Shit had me in tears the whole time. Incredible moment. I need to paint that scene. No, that kid put on for his city. Right? That's what he did. He put on for his city. You can only shoot to have those moments and do those things. You know what I mean? Amazing performance. Chucky said Kendrick's show was touching, legendary, facts. Big Blanc said I seen a Drake clip where his fans were singing Kendrick's rhymes. I'm sure it happens. Okay, that dude, that A minor part specifically. So, a friend of mine named Zaya has another channel, has his own channels. They were having that conversation, and he was talking about how, because usually the conversations he has, he has a symbiotic relationship with trolls. He's found a way to monetize the trolls' negativity on his channel. So he just goes to war with trolls all the time. You know what I'm saying? And he's been saying for a long time something that I agree with, that, these trolls, they start throwing around that word. And it's like, you're taking the weight off the word. So do you even care about that, that crime, that pedophilia? Like, do you even give a shit about it if you just throwing that name around because you're diluting the name? You know what I mean? And he was arguing that could be something that's happening as well with these songs. How the catchy part of that song is the most obvious. You know what I'm saying? The
certified pedophiles. Wop, 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 wop.
That
and it's probably A minor.
And he was bringing up the point that we've been seeing TikTok videos from kids, very young kids, singing these songs and singing those parts, but I don't think they're popularizing the word. I think they're educating themselves on what it is and kind of clowning anybody who is that, even if it's Drake, if that makes sense. So also, he's a Drake fan, so I invited him on the show. We'll be doing a live stream very soon where we dig into the allegations and try to figure out what it is that Kendrick knows and why he's saying what he's saying and what would make Drake look that way to him and what the allegations against Drake look like. You know what I'm saying? So that's a conversation I'll be having with him. Salutes to him for coming on, and we'll be doing that very soon. Very soon. IB said he put on for his people. Absolutely. That was way bigger than LA. Absolutely. But yeah, I see what you mean by that statement also. By which statement? I was talking a lot. But yeah, he put on, man. He put on. It was a great show. Drake ain't on his level. One's from the gutter, the other one's privileged. His different. Yeah, and it's like, I ain't got nothing against Drake except for the things that I got against Drake. And from the beginning I just felt like, oh, some of this is dope, all right, some of this is cool, some of this sounds all the same, but I really don't believe you, bro. That's on me. That's my choice. I never believed him, so I couldn't name 10. I don't think I could name 10 Drake songs. I mean, probably from his early shit, but just for it being for a city because it was in LA. No, that was for as far as the arms of the gang sets that were on that stage could reach. So if that could reach from the south to the north, then so be it. He put on for his city, he put on for his state, he put on for his people. Absolutely. It was a great show. And I'm talking about technically as well, like flawless technically. Flawless. Now I don't know if y'all noticed, and for those that seen it, he had Ab-Soul up there, his homeboy Ab-Soul, and they were helping Ab-Soul around because Ab-Soul has a sickness that affects your vision. Forget what it's called. Let me see. It's called Steven Johnson syndrome. It's a rare disorder that requires hospital treatment, often in an intensive care unit, and can be life-threatening without treatment. see. And let me make sure that's what he has. Absol. Okay, yeah. So Absol does have the Steven Johnson syndrome. So they were helping him around on stage. Like, it was a very beautiful show. He killed it. Technically killed it. All of the above. Salutes. Just it being for a city because it was in LA. But LA ripples out into the rest of the world on a level that only New York, Tokyo, and Paris do. And Chicago, bruh. Gang culture affects so much more than just gang members now because they have so much influence on pop culture just by proxy of being connected to rap and hip hop. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. It's an argument to be had. It's an argument to be had. But yeah, no, it was a great concert. Salutes to him. He did a hell of a job. See if I got anything lined up here that we could throw on. I plan on I'm again, y'all, I give this channel a whole lot of time and effort. I will fall short every now and then because of this, that, or the other, but we got bad videos dropping. We're gonna do some members only content very soon, like in the next couple of days. We're gonna get that conversation going with Zaya about Drake. I'm gonna look into that, see what information I can get. All good, IB. I'm just talking my shit. Big Blanc said, all right, family, I gotta head out for the night. I will catch you on the next one. Good live shot. Peace and love. Salutes to you, Big Blanc. Stay safe. Head on a swivel. Make your move first. Salutes. Salutes. Let me see what I got here. We did that. I think we covered it all. I think it would be after covering Jamani and Yummy and Siobhan, I think it would probably be a disservice if I probably went, to anything else. I think I should just leave it at that. So again, tomorrow I'll be back. There'll be more videos. Maybe we do another live stream. We'll see what's good. I got an event, IRL event, that I'll try to shoot some stuff for. Probably put out a members only video with that stuff from the event that I'm headed to. Yeah, and just hang out. I said last night on the Discord was a testament to what you're building on the channel. Good times with you all. Salutes. Yeah, for those that don't know, here's the Discord link. If you are watching this live right now and you want to join our Discord, you can jump in the Discord. We was just shooting the shit last night, talking about whatever, till like, I don't know, 2-3 in the morning my time. So there's a Discord link. For those that haven't caught all of our other playlists on this channel, here's some links to the playlist because we got plenty to offer here, man. Hundreds and hundreds of videos that you can give a share to. Some subjects that are, for the masses, and others that, some people rather not hear about. Right? But we're on YouTube. We're on YouTube, a place where the trolls will troll you, and when you troll them back, they leave, right? Never to be heard of again, but they're ghost watching. They're always watching. Right? So there's some there. Let me drop the Surviving El Chapo playlist. What else we got here? Flores Twins exclusives. Twins exclusives playlists, and here's the link for those that want to become members. All right, there's 2 tiers of members. There's a $2.99 a month membership that gets you, let me look at it, that gets you priority I'm just getting used to where everything is with this. First level is $2.99 a month. You get loyalty badges. You get custom emojis. 4 custom emojis. You get shout outs from me. So shout outs to my members in the building. Zoraida and Jonathan are the members in the building. I think JFL was in here too. And Upper Echelon. all members. Salutes to them. What else you get? You get usual suspect polls that are just for the people that get the membership. You get a private chat in the Discord, and you get sneak peek early access. Early access will start next week because I have to overlap the videos. And then there's the next tier that I have, which is $4.99 a month, and you get Il Cartel live streams and Il Cartel member only videos, member only live streams, member only videos. So the link for that is right here. And you get the lives and the members with the $4.99, but you also get everything you get in the $2.99 package. Y'all know how that shit goes. So I'm gonna drop that in there. Salutes. Y'all can find that on the page wherever it says join. Go. And what else I got here? And again, here's the GoFundMe once again for Jamani's family. JFL, did you go watch all the Surviving El Chapo? Yeah, I don't know. You're gonna have to quiz him. So that you gotta take the test. Alright, I think that's about it that I have to post up there. All good, good. Salutes. All right, y'all. I appreciate y'all. We had a it was frustrating, but I'm glad y'all we was here. We had an adult conversation, and I appreciate y'all for it. You know what I mean? I think it was something that needed to be talked about. So again, rest in peace, Jamani, Amir Rivera, and salutes to Ivy, the new member. Right, boom, salutes. Appreciate you, sir. All right. So now, boom, now that you're the 8th member, now there will be a section that pops up on my channel that has all the members up there. All right, I had to get 8 members to do that. That's where we at. Salutes. Appreciate you. All right. But again, rest in peace, Jamani Amir Rivera. Rest in peace, Yummy Sandifer. Rest in peace, Siobhan Dean. These are conversations that every now and then I'm gonna have. We talk the bullshit, we could talk the gossip, we could talk the cartel heroes, all of that good shit. But every now and then, there's gonna be something I have to talk about. So it is what it is, Again, I appreciate y'all. And all you got to do is listen to the songs that we introed with, the songs that we will outro with. If you listen closely, I'm just talking about the same thing over and over and over again. All right? Why? Because it hasn't changed. It's been the same thing. All right? So that I said I was here too late to talk to JFL. Next time. Salutes. Salutes, absolutely. Welcome, Ivy, to the members, to the membership. Appreciate you. Booyah. All right, so again, listen to after we just talked about what we talked about, listen to these 2 records through that window. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just, I've been talking the same shit my whole life. The people that's supposed to suffer ain't suffering. And the ones, the people that ain't supposed to be suffering are suffering. And the ones that are supposed to be suffering, they get away scot-free. Salute to y'all. Y'all have a good night. I will see y'all tomorrow. Be safe. If you're out there drinking, do not drink and drive. Get you an Uber. Make smart decisions tonight. Keep your head on a swivel and make your move first. Salute to y'all. Maybe y'all catch me in the Discord later talking crazy. We shall see. All right, y'all have a good night. Peace. All of a sudden, YouTube wants to tweak on me. Peace out, Chucky Chingo. Oh, hey, hold on. Let's come back real quick. Wait a minute. I almost rushed myself out of here. I didn't go through the chat real quick. Let me go through the chat real quick. Let me go through the chat real quick. All right. Salutes to Mr. Eddie Jimenez. I appreciate you, sir. Guero 217, Zoraida, Ed the Hip Hop Guru, Ivan, Chucky Chingon. I appreciate you, James Rucker. Salutes. Big June, I appreciate you. Young Jizzle, thank you, sir. Ed the Hip Hop Guru, thank you for the donation, sir. Thank you, Jonathan Pantoja, for your power chat. I appreciate you. Salutes Big June. Salutes Young Jizzle, Felix Reyes. Salutes to you, sir. JFL, salutes to you, sir. All right. While I'm doing that, let me refresh this. So I don't have that problem no more. Who else? Upper Echelon, thank you for coming through, sir. Salutes IB, salutes your vid sucks on the check-in. Big Blanc from the O, salutes to you, sir. Salutes IB, 298 Sosa, I appreciate you. Thanks for coming through. Of course, Jonathan, per usual. Jessica Chavez, salutes to you. I appreciate you. Trying not to miss nobody. I think we good. Let me see. Mr. Eddie Jimenez says, Shy, thank you so much for this much needed live. Your opening words were 1,000. Thank you, bro. I appreciate you. I had to get it off my chest. I appreciate y'all for hearing me stand on my soapbox. All right? Salutes to y'all. Just straight realness. Salutes. So be safe, everyone. Listen to Shy. He's a smart dude. Sometimes, especially on Friday nights. Salutes, Wedo. Appreciate you. Oh, JFL came back for you, Zoraida. He's in the building. Salutes. Salutes, Chucky Chingong. I appreciate you. Y'all have a good night. All right, let's try this exit again. Peace.
Running away, no one is there, no one to save us, nothing to spare. How can I change what? We landed here. It's not the same sun, this is despair. One of us came up, none of us cared. They want to change up, life isn't fair. It's how we made, huh? Now you aware. It's why you fear us, this why you scared. They over the hilltop, I see them right there. They'll wait for the kill shot, they'll sit and they'll stare. If we got a real shot for us, it's up there. We're hopeless if we stop, they'll kill us right here. Living in death's den, run through the best winds, storming the front gates. Whatever gets us in, whatever gets us over, whatever helps us win, whatever we must do. Rescuing our kids, as long as they get through it, don't matter if we live. God chose to bless you, I'll take all that death gives. I'm here till this war ends, in memory of dead friends. Hope of a new way when all of this death ends. Who can we call on? It's me and it's all y'all. We're here by our lonesome, nobody to fall on. Flesh in the dirt, fire to ashes. Fate getting closer every moment that passes. Running away, no one is there, no one to save us, nothing to spare. How can I change what? We landed here. It's not the same sun, this is despair. One of us came up, none of us cared. They want to change up, life isn't fair. It's how we made, huh? Now you aware. It's why you fear us, this why you scared. Show me a safe place, does it exist? It must be a wasteland where nobody lives, that nobody knows of, where nobody's been. Where we at is warfare, every kind you can get. What you can't get is real love and fucking respect. Set up for failure, a life of neglect. If none of us stand up, we'll live with regrets. If we rise, we might die, I call that a good death. What would I live for if I am oppressed? How can I raise up with the world on my chest? Who's gonna save us if you and I rest? They shoot us in cold blood when under arrest. Lock us in cold cells, consider it home now. Cut off from emotion, our feelings are stone now. Our buildings are blown out, the madness is so loud. It's dark and there's no sound, we gotta go now. Running away, no one is there, no one to save us, nothing to spare. How can I change what? We landed here. It's not the same sun, this is despair. One of us came up, none of us cared. They want to change up, life isn't fair. It's how we made, huh? Now you aware. It's why you fear us, this why you scared. The illness is prevalent, natives malevolent. Hunger, starvation now, no hope for a heaven sent. Kiss the babies goodbye. Say I love you to wives. Grab your weapons, get your steps in, we gon' ride when it rise. The sun mean what when it's blinding your eyes? Put the wind to your back, leave them facing the sky. Put the pain in the dirt, raise your bloody fist high. Use your brain, do the work, strategize and survive. The rush of the dust up, the thrill of the gun buzz, the satisfaction of our reaction when there's no one to help us. The spoils of war, the hunger for more, the passion of how we smashing what we hate through the floor. The rage, the loneliness of dead on the page. To cleanse this land, gotta burn more than just sage. Crush the cage, body and soul unafraid. Kill them all and set them ablaze. No running away, no one is there. No one to save us, nothing to spare. How can I change what? We landed here. It's not the same sun, this is despair. One of us came up, none of us cared. They want to change up, life isn't fair. It's how we made, huh? Now you aware. It's why you fear us, it's why you scared. Was she madder to you? If you knew her, understood why she loved, realized why she is precious, she important to us. How much she means to the future without the damage is done. You stand accused, the abuser who murdered daughters and sons. Kissed by stars, shadow killer light from afar. Eyesight with a spark, search for what she find in the dark. Small in the frame, big brain, mountain the heart. Good with a secret, no shame, like her, she smart. Maybe inside another life she find us a fine arts, but we ain't born with choices, so she hopeless when life's hard. Lost and alone for nigga, live finding a way. Making alliance, be a loyal dog and wait for a day. The corner warned of the street lights, begged her to stay. The curb heard the crosswalk cry as she walked away. The church was hurt, praying she was one they could save. A disappointed system couldn't make her a slave.
If I could get past the day, I'd do it all a different way. I'd give myself half a chance. I wouldn't call the devil out to dance. If I could just catch a break, the difference is that I can make the type of pain that I could take. Yeah, I die before I choose to break.
There she is, I see how you look at her. You wish you could protect her, cause you see something good in her. You see what we all see, there's more than just the hood in her. We can see her greatness and devils trying to shoot at her. Chaos under madness, junkies trying to shoot her up. Old men trying to give her babies, white wolves out to chew her up. She more than just a throwaway, this more than just to shoot 'em up. More than just a poor girl, this cold world is using up. Tragedy, travesty, the murder of her majesty. Complete and utter blasphemy, end result catastrophe. Generations wiped out, the future is a casualty. Anything concerning her, I prefer you asking me. Also do it candidly, in a low tone with reverence, or end up in a box standing over you a reverend. She's sacred far as we concerned, this here is a holy place. Big brother, she chose a blow holes to your face.
If I could get past the day, I'd do it all a different way. I'd give myself half a chance. I wouldn't call the devil out to dance. If I could just catch a break, the difference is that I can make the type of pain that I could take. Yeah, I die before I choose to break.
Played to an early grave in a game she thought she could play. She might have made it a business to be a business one day, but all that business is finished. No hope for words left to say. No more lessons from mistakes. No graduation day. No getting over the awkwardness of being a teen. No more late nights on the block, pearling blunts for the team. More tears and vigils, more blood stains the streets. More division between the living, cutting flesh for the beef. Vengeance is on the table. This revenge is so sweet. Insatiable is the appetite, awaken the beast. Irrational thoughts and actions make the most sense to me. What's happening is gonna happen. We gon' die, we eat everything, every single motherfucking piece. And even then, no comparison to what you owe me. I have nothing, and only one thing left to gain. I promise I'ma walk you through flames, screaming a name.
If I could get past the day, I'd do it all a different way. I'd give myself half a chance. I wouldn't call the devil out to dance. If I could just catch a break, the difference is that I can make the type of pain that I could take.